was the turning point when you knew breaking up with your ex was wrong? I was 16, a scrawny kid with a mop of brown hair and a knack for getting into dumb arguments with my friends at the local diner. Life in our small New Jersey town was predictable. School, loitering at the corner store, and blasting Metallica or Nirvana through cheap speakers in someone's garage. My world felt small, but it was mine, and I didn't think much beyond it. That summer, though, something different happened. I met Shara. She wasn't part of my usual crew. My friends, guys like Tommy, Mike, and Dave, were the kind of kids who thought skipping class to sneak beers behind a gas station was peak rebellion. Sarah was different. She was 17, a senior at a neighboring high school, and she didn't fit the mold of our little scene. She didn't hang out at the usual spots or care about the stuff we did. I met her at the town fair, of all places, when I was trying to win stuffed bear at one of those rigged ring toss games. She was there with a friend, laughing at my terrible aim, her curly blonde hair bouncing as she leaned against the booth. She had this easy smile, not forced or trying to impress anyone, just genuine. I like that. We started talking, and somehow I ended up asking her out. She said yes, and just like that, we were a thing. Nothing serious. Just hanging out, grabbing burgers at the diner, or driving around her car. Oh, that car, it was a beast. A 1970 Cadillac DeVille, faded green, with chrome trim that gleamed when it caught the light just right. It was her dad's old car, handed down to her when he upgraded to something more practical. The thing was a tank, longer than my driveway and heavier than my future. I'd never driven before. Not legally, anyway, but Sarah didn't care. She'd toss me the keys and say, go for it. My first time behind the wheel was a disaster. The Cadillac was like trying to steer a yacht. I crept along at 15 miles an hour, white-knuckling the steering wheel, while Sarah laughed in the passenger seat. The narrow streets of our town weren't made for that car. Curbs seemed to leap out at me, and every turn felt like I was wrestling a bear. Once I clipped the mailbox, and Sarah just shrugged, saying it's got character now. Driving that thing was terrifying, but it was also the most fun I'd ever had. I felt free, like I could go anywhere, even if I was just circling the same 5 blocks. We'd spend hours together like that, cruising around, talking about nothing. Important, school, movies, her dream of moving to a big city someday. She didn't drink, didn't smoke, didn't care for the loud music my friends were obsessed with. She liked softer stuff, like Fleetwood Mac or old jazz records her mom used to play. I didn't get it, but I liked how she'd hum along, tapping her fingers on the dashboard. She was easy to be around, no pressure, no expectations. I started to really like her, more than I expected to, but my friends didn't get it. To them, Sarah was an outsider, a square. Why were you wasting your time with her? Tommy would say, flicking a cigarette, but into the street. She's not even fun. Mike would chime in, she doesn't party, man. You're missing out. They'd rag on me at the diner, or during our late night hangs in Dave's basement, where we'd drink cheap beer and argue about who was the best guitarist of all time. I'd laugh it off at first, but it started to get under my skin. I was 16, I wanted to fit in to be one of the guys. Sarah wasn't part of that world, and the more they talked, the more I started to wonder if they were right. So, I let things fizzle out. I stopped calling her as much, made excuses when she asked to hang out. It wasn't a big dramatic breakup, just a slow drift. By the time summer ended, we were barely talking. She turned 18 that fall, graduated high school, and I heard she was planning to move away, maybe to Philly or New York. I didn't think much of it. I was back with my friends, back to our routine of sneaking into bars. We were too young for her, and blasting music until the neighbors complained. Life went on. Then, a few months later, I saw her face on the news. Sarah had bought a lottery ticket on a whim, some gas. Station clerk had talked her into it while she was filling up the Cadillac. She won $6 million. The New Jersey State Lottery, a 1 in a million shot, and she hit it. I was at the diner with Tommy and Mike when the story came on the TV above the counter. I just stared, my fries getting cold, as the anchor talked about this